Good morning, fifth grade. It is the 15th of October, and I guess it's actually good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. It is the 15th of October, 2020, and today we are continuing our series on dividing decimal numbers. I hope you are stoked. I got Earl the squirrel here with me. He says hello. Hello. And we're going to get some numbers divided. All right, so let's give a quick look to our objective for today. Our objective today is I can divide decimal numbers with remainders by using my knowledge of place value. Boom. That is basically the same objective that we had yesterday, but today we're just going to extend our on our knowledge of place value and use it to help us divide numbers. Okay, so here we go. First expression that we have is 4 and 236 thousandths divided by 3. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to put this into a place value chart. Okay, here's our place value chart. We got the ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Okay, there's our decimal. Okay, ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Let's just put in a 10,000 for funsies. Yes. Okay, and we have the number 4 and 236 thousandths, and we're dividing it by 3. Okay, so remember we're going to be using discs to help us out. Okay, so we have 4 discs, we got 2 discs, we have 3 discs, and we have 6 discs. Y'all remember last year when the Visco Girl thing was a thing, and we'd all say discs and then laugh because we were going. Gosh, 2019 was a blur. Anyway, okay, so now looking at our expression, we are dividing by 3, which means we are putting them into groups of 3. All right, so here we go. Okay, there's a group of 3. Okay, but we still have this one that we can't put into a group of 3. What are we going to do about it? Teacher, I want you to pause the video here, and I want you students to brainstorm what can we do with that leftover disc? All right, hope you're back, and I hope you had some good conversations. Well, what do we know about this disc? We know that it's in the ones place. We know that we have 1, 1, right? We have 1, 1 left over. Okay. And we can't divide it into a group of 3 yet, right? We can't do it yet. What we know about this 1, 1 is that if we move it over, it's the same thing as 10 tenths, right? Then we can put 10. If we have 10 of something, we can definitely find groups of 3, right? So let's move it over to our tenths, okay? So 1, 1 would mean I have 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I think I have to. So sorry about that jump cut. So we've taken this 1, we've broken it up into tenths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and now let's look for groups of 3. All right. Here's a group of 3. Here's a group of 3. Here's a group of 3, and here's a group of 3. Great. Okay. So here we have 1. Here we have 4. Let's keep going with our number. Okay, there's a group of 3. And then here we have 2 groups of 3. So if we took 4 and 236 thousandths and divided it by 3, we would end up with 1 and 412 thousandths. Okay, but I don't want us to stop there. Okay, because chances are you're not going to take the time to make this place value chart every time that we divide a number. Okay, so we're going to use what we call standard algorithm in division, or what we call long division. Okay, guys, I basically drew the corner of a place value chart, right? Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing. Okay, here when we're using long division, what we're doing is we're asking how many groups of 3, or how many times can I pull 3 out of a number, right? So here we had 3. 3, we can only pull one group of 3 out of 4, right? So we're going to say we can only pull one group of 3 out of 4. Okay, so we take that 3 out, we're left with 1. All right, then we're going to pull down our 2 tenths, right? And now we have 12 tenths, right? Just like we did over here. Okay, now we say, okay, how many groups of 3 can I pull out of 12? Well, I can pull 4 groups of 3 out of 12. If I pull 4 groups of 3 out of 12, that means I'm pulling 12 out, right? Okay, and when I subtract those, I have 0. Oh my gosh, why is this being like this? There we go. Then I'm going to pull down my 3. How many groups of 3 can I pull out of 3? Well, I can only pull one group of 3 out of 3, which is 3. So I'm going to subtract 3 from that number and I get 0. Pull down my 6. And now I'm going to ask myself, how many times can I pull, or how many groups of 3 can I pull out of 6? Well, I can pull 2 groups of 3 out of 6. That equals 6. And I get 0. I have no more numbers to pull down. So my final quotient is 1 and 412 thousandths, which is the same answer that we got over here. Friends, we're doing the same thing when we're using place value and when we're using standard algorithm. Okay, so let's try another one that's going to make us think a little. Okay, let's try another one that's going to make us think a little. All right, should we take bets on how many times Mr. Austin is going to have to circle these things, lasso these things, to get them to delete? Hello? Oh my gosh, am I going to do it all? Patricia. Okay. All right. Next one. We've got 1 and 324 thousandths divided by 2. Okay. So let's make that place value chart. Okay. Here we have our ones, decimal place, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay, there's our ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. All right, and let's put in our numbers here. We have 1, 3, 2, 4. All right, we're dividing by 2. Let's make our discs. We have 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, here we go. Getting ready to go. Oh no, I have a problem. I have a problem. I only have one disc. I can't break it. I can't find a group of 2 if I have one disc. What am I going to do? Okay. Through the internet, I heard that I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna move it over to my tenths, because I know that 1 is the same thing as 10 tenths. So I'm gonna move it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. All right. Now can we find groups of 2? Absolutely. Here's a group of 2. 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 Oh no. Oh, I'm left with 1. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, I heard the answer. I'm going to move this over because I know that 1/10 is the same thing as 10 hundredths. So I'm going to move it over and break it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now can I find groups of 2? Absolutely. There's a group of 2. 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 And there's a group of 2. Awesome. I don't have any remainders. I don't have any left over, so I can go on to my next place value, find groups of 2. There they are. That looks like a pig snout. Charlotte's Web, is that you? Okay, sorry. That was not helpful. And probably a little confusing. My bad. Okay. And I erased my group of 2. Mr. Austin, you should have never drawn a pig. Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's count the groups that we have in our place values. In our ones place, we didn't have any groups that we made. Don't forget our decimal. In our tenths place, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places or 6 groups that we made. In our hundredths place, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places that we made. And in our thousandths place, we had 1, 2 groups that we made. So 1 and 324 thousandths divided by 2, we can safely say is 662 thousandths. But let's double check using standard algorithm or long division. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Okay. Okay, so I'm making the corner of my place value box, and we're dividing by 2. The number we're dividing is 1 and 324 thousandths. And we're going to do the same thing. All right, so we're going to say, can I make any groups of 2 out of 1? Nope, so I got to combine that 1 with my 3 and say that I have 13, because remember, 1, 1 is the same thing as 10 tenths. So if I have 10 tenths plus 3 tenths, that's 13 tenths. Glad we're on the same page. I can take 6 groups of 2 out of 13 tenths, which is 12. All right, and be left over with 1. I'm going to pull down my 2 because remember, we can't do anything with that 1. Got to move it over to the next place value. That becomes 10 hundredths. 10 hundredths plus 2 hundredths is 12 hundredths. Looking, how many times can I make a group of 2 out of 12? Well, I know I can make it 6 times. And so when I take that out, I'm going to be taking out 12. I'm going to be left with 0. Pull down the next one. Okay. How many groups of 2 can I take out of 4? Well, I can take 2 groups of 2 out of 2, or out of 4, excuse me, and be 4. And that's going to equal 0. We have no more place values to worry about, so our quotient is 662 thousandths, which is the same thing that we got when we used our place value box. Okay, so let's double check our objective. It says that I can divide decimal numbers with remainders by using my knowledge of place value. I think you are totally well on your way to get that done. Check out the guided practice with your teacher and be sure to do the independent practice at the end of your seesaw activity. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Much love and go and be brilliant.